Well, good Monday evening, Arkansas. This is Chief Forecaster coming back in once again. We're here to give you guys your evening forecast update before your 7-day forecast comes out this evening here. So, the video was a little bit later this afternoon, well, this evening, compared to what it normally is. I was kind of taking a look at some data for next week and generating a lot of maps I'm going to show you guys throughout the week here. So, let's talk about what's going on right now here. So, we have a little bit of shower activity across western Arkansas. This is not going to result in much, guys. I wish there was more rainfall, kind of what you're seeing in the bottom left corner of your screen. I wish that was over Arkansas, but this little bit's not going to really do anything. But this is going to continue to move out towards north. This is as a response of a warm front that's moving northward, as a response of Saturday's front moving north. So just kind of keep that in mind. Well, we'll watch that closely here, but it's not going to result in much. So right now, we still got temperatures 81 degrees here in Little Rock in late October. I mean, this is not normal, guys, okay? For Arkansas standards it is, but everybody else it's not really normal. But we're going to be changing that coming up next week or so. Elsewhere across the state, we got temperatures in the 70s. We're falling to the 60s up there in Piggott and down in there in Arkadelphia at this current time here. So as I mentioned before, this is not going to really do anything. This is as responsible for front boundary moving northward. And you can see the rainfall down here in central Texas. That rainfall is as a result of moisture coming from a tropical disturbance that was out here in the eastern Pacific. That's going to move northeast. Not really expecting, like I said, not expecting a whole lot of significant rainfall out of this, but it will bring at least some rainfall chances to the forecast for north and central Arkansas. So we'll keep an eye on it, but not really expecting too much in the way of any pattern changes. So we can actually zoom this out, and if you could just give me just 1 second here, let's switch over to our frontal boundaries. And like I mentioned before, your biggest front that's going to be coming in, we can zoom this out just a little bit more. Let's take a look at Canada for just a little bit. This is the disturbance that's going to be coming our way as we get towards late this weekend and into early next week. This is going to bring down a lot of cold air down into the central and into the southern parts of the country here, and that's going to bring the potential of a frost and freeze as we get towards the Halloween time frame here. So let's go ahead and go over to your evening highlights real quickly here. As I mentioned before, confidence is definitely growing in that fall cold front here, storming into the weekend pretty likely. And that's going to be as a result of front boundary beginning to get closer and closer to the state. Rainfall chances are going to start to go up, especially for our folks in the western half of the state at this time. And we've got below normal temperatures to talk about in the long range as well. So, speaking of below normal temperatures here and all things cold, let's talk about the winter outlook here, guys. As mentioned before, it is on our Patreon, patreon.com/Arkansas Weather Watchers. It is going to be released to the public, I believe, next Wednesday. That's going to be November 1st. Time is just rolling, guys. But it is going to be released to the public November 1st here. So if you want that early access, go check us out on patreon.com/Arkansas Weather Watchers. Or if you're wanting that, or you wanting to wait till it comes out for the public, that's fine. It's going to be out for November 1st as well here. So let's talk about the burn bans here. And this is what I was fearing. We desperately need the rainfall here in Arkansas. I love the cooler temperatures. I love it. But we desperately need the rainfall here in Arkansas. And you can see the last time I was talking to you guys, we only had like 3 or 4 counties in the burn ban. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 counties now. And I'm fearing as the week progresses, we may start to add on a few more counties to that, depending on how much rainfall is seen and stuff like that. So let's keep that in mind, folks. If you're in a burn ban, heed those laws, guys. It is very, very important, okay? Let's talk about the wildfire risk. This kind of correlates with the burn ban, and you can see moderate wildfire danger for much of Arkansas. There's actually been a few counties up there in North Arkansas that has been added with this recent update, and then down there in southeastern Arkansas, you have that high wildfire danger as well. So keep that in mind. I know a lot of people are going to be planning bonfires and stuff like that. If you're under a burn ban, don't do it. It's there for a reason, because one spark can easily lead to a wildfire. So keep that in mind at this point. Okay, so let's talk about tonight. Like I mentioned before, the area showers over there in western Arkansas that's going to move northward. Very spotty, guys. I mean, not everybody's going to see rainfall. If you do see rainfall, enjoy it, because we desperately need it. Temperatures are going to be much warmer across the state. As a matter of fact, I think between Memphis or Little Rock, somebody may not even get out of 70s tonight. I know. Overnight lows in the 70s in late October. That's that's crazy. But yeah, that is a legit possibility across the area, but most of the area should stay into the mid to upper 60s at this current time. So let's go ahead and talk to you guys about next week. We're going to switch this over to the GFS here. Now, I'm going to speed blitz this through all the way through. As you can see, Wednesday, Thursday, not much on the board. Late Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and the Thursday afternoon, there could be an area of showers, possibly some embedded thunderstorms moving into western Arkansas. No severe weather really expected with this, guys. We just don't have the dynamics in place for it, okay? So let's take this out. There's Friday evening, by the way, if we were to go with the GFS. Good amount of rain for our folks over there in western, northwestern Arkansas. I'm going to try my best to try to push this into the state more, but right now it looks like western and northern Arkansas is the most favorite. And then you can see we take this out all the way to Saturday. Here comes your front boundary. Look up to the top right, top left corner of your screen. You see that orange up there? That is actually sleet up there in Kansas. That is a result of the cold air beginning to slide down into our area here, okay? So they're actually expecting maybe some wintry mids up here in the Kansas area. We're talking freeze, rain, sleet, maybe a little bit of snow up there as well. So we can take this out all the way through. There it is on Sunday. So Saturday and Sunday at this point, if you live north of the I-30, I-40 corridor, it's going to be a rather rainy weekend. So keep that in mind if you're having any Halloween plans across the area, okay? Now let's take this out all the way to Monday. Front boundaries beginning to set through. You're going to see temperatures coming up here in just a little bit. And you can see there's your cold air moving in, and I think the GFS is overreaching with this. Okay, this is just a GFS. If there's enough cold air in place and your moisture is not too far away in the higher elevations of northern Arkansas, personally, I cannot rule out a few sleet pellets, maybe a snowflake or two. It just depends. You have to see if you're going to have the moisture left in place. I know the GFS well enough that it's overreaching. So the best forecast solution right now is much of the rainfall will be across southern Arkansas. There will be dry air across central and north Arkansas. It's going to be a rather chilly Tuesday with temperatures, which is your Halloween time frame, by the way, with temperatures struggling to get out of the 40s, maybe some upper 30s up there in northern Arkansas. So we'll watch it. Don't get excited just yet. This is not going to be a winter storm. The setup itself doesn't support it because you have dry air moving in. It's going to be chasing moisture out. You may get lucky if you're in the higher elevations up there in Boston Mountains. Maybe, if you have the moisture in place. But I'm not really expecting this to be a big-time winter weather event for us here in Arkansas. So that clears out rather chilly. Now, what is going to be a likely possibility is frost and freeze across much of central and northern Arkansas here. So let's take a look at the temperatures with the GFS here. Very, very cold if you were to go with the GFS. This is overnight lows in the 20s across North Arkansas, near freezing across central, near freezing across southern Arkansas here. So we're probably going to be whipping out the frost and freeze graphics as we get towards later this week, guys. But definitely some decent cold air coming our way as we get towards next week. Daytime highs in the upper 40s to low 50s here. So it's going to start to feel more like winter across our area instead of fall across the board. But let's take this back all the way to Saturday so I can give you guys kind of a timing on when this cold front's going to move through. So this is during the day on Saturday. You go to GFS. I'm sure you're in just a second. Temperatures near 90 in southeastern Arkansas, 50s across northwestern Arkansas here. So you can see the front boundary moving its way through. This is on Sunday. Near 90 in South Arkansas, potentially 30s in northwestern Arkansas. This is going to be a very, very strong front that's going to move through as we get towards this weekend, guys. So that pushes through. We're going to take this out all the way to Monday. Like I mentioned before, this is why I'm not really buying into any winter weather or anything like that, because you're just too warm. Maybe any higher elevations. Maybe. And that may be for some sleet pellets. Just don't get over excited about it, guys. We're still a little bit too early to talk about any winter weather across the board, but we'll see. But let's take this out all the way through, and you can see on Tuesday. Look at there. This is daytime highs on Tuesday, guys. Woo! 40s. Maybe some upper 30s with rainfall in place. It's going to be a rather chilly Halloween for us here in Arkansas. And then you can see by the time we get towards Wednesday morning, temperatures in the 20s could be possible across the area here. So let's jump this ship over to the Euro. Let's see what the Euro's got to say about this. Same thing. Western Arkansas, northwestern Arkansas favored over the next couple of days. There could be actually a line of showers and thunderstorms moving through as we get towards your Thursday time frame. The Euro is a little more aggressive with the rainfall here, which is great, which is absolutely great. We need it, but it's going to move that rainfall through. It kind of diminishes in coverage, and you can see with the front boundary moving in how your rainfall totals really start to kind of increase across the area here. So we'll keep an eye on it. Up there in Kansas, if you're planning on going to Kansas, there is a good possibility that you may run into a little bit of winter weather. Nothing significant, but there could be a little bit of snow, some freezing rain and sleet up there. and then you can take this out all the way through, and you see that blue line, that is the 540 degree line that we see all the time in the winter. So definitely some colder temperatures aloft coming our way. Let's take a look at the surface temps, and you can see by the time we get towards Wednesday, not as cold as the GFS. I would blind more of a blend between the GFS and Euro, which puts North Arkansas in a deep freeze potentially making its way all the way down to central Arkansas, and then a frost potential across southern Arkansas here. So we'll keep that in mind, but temperatures are definitely going to be rather cold as we get towards next week. Temperatures highs in the 40s, overnight lows potentially in the 20s and 30s, guys. So that's all I got for you guys this evening here. As always, be sure to continue to follow us. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. We get these daily videos Monday through Friday, and we have our 7-day forecast out on our main page on Facebook. So that's all I got for you guys at this point. We'll continue to keep you guys updated right here, your source for all things Arkansas weather.